Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about what I like and dislike about the new Battlefield 6. The game has been out for about a week now, and a little over a week, and I've had a lot of time with it. You know, I'm about level 40 at this point in time, and I know for a lot of you freaks that might be just really, really low, and how dare I talk about the game. But in my opinion, I'm a casual gamer. I have to go to work every day, so I am playing at night right after I get out of work, and I sometimes play with friends, sometimes I play alone. I've been kind of mixing it up, playing a little bit of everything, playing with different classes, playing with different weapons. The one thing I won't be talking about in this video all that much is vehicles. I haven't really had a chance to really mess with vehicles all that much. I just been trying to get a grip for the game itself, and a lot of the controls for the vehicles are a little tougher for me for some reason. So I've just kind of steered away from that, no pun intended. In a future video, I will talk about vehicles because I am going to dive into vehicles a little bit more in the future here. But for now, we're going to just talk about the normal all-around gameplay of the game and just, again, my likes and dislikes of the game. There's also a couple in-betweens here as well, things that I didn't know if I liked or disliked that I kind of just put in just to kind of put as a talking point. I do have my notes over here from my phone. I put them on my computer. I'm just going to kind of spitfire all of these. I have a little description of each thing that I put down here. So, I'll kind of go off of that, but I'll also just kind of freestyle it and just talk a little bit, just casually to you guys about what I like and don't like. So in the background, the gameplay you see, it's just going to be a jumbled mess most likely, and you'll randomly see my face as well. So hopefully that's an okay format for you guys. It kind of works for me. So I want to talk about the first main thing that you're going to be just kind of seeing or feeling in the game as soon as you log in and start up. That's going to be the gameplay, the gunplay, the visuals, and the sound. So let's talk about those four things because they all kind of just coincide together to make one amazing experience here. The visuals, and I'd say the gameplay and gunplay and all together, everything is very realistic. Everything feels like you're in the war. It feels like absolute chaos at all times. Everything feels chunky. There is just an almost at times overwhelming amount of things going on, and that is completely okay. Like, everything is fine when it comes to that. Like, the effects, like just the way everything looks when it's crumbling apart. Like, you can run a tank through an entire fucking house and it will just crumble around you. It's very much like the old days if you're an old head when it comes to Battlefield. Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3. If you like those style of destructibility, you're going to like this game. Like, you're immediately going to love this. Like, the visuals are very gritty, almost like a Modern Warfare 2019 in a way. And I say that because Modern Warfare 2019 kind of dove into such a realistic perspective that it almost went too far at times and kind of lost identity for what it was. With Battlefield, this is how Battlefield should look. There are things that, like, when you think of Battlefield, you think of realistic military sim, kind of like just tactical at times. That's what this game feels like. It embodies the tactical, all around teamwork and vibe and just all around grittiness of what a Battlefield should be. And I have to say, I was always a huge fan of Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 was my favorite Battlefield after Battlefield 3. I felt like they peaked at Battlefield 1 where it was basic enough, but it was gritty and dark and fucked up enough, World War I style, that it felt like they couldn't reach that peak ever again. I think Battlefield 6 has reached that. I think Battlefield 6 is pretty much a Battlefield 1, but just modern day. Like, it's very gritty. It's kind of fucked up at times, just how much destruction there is in this game, how much chaos there is. And all around, the visuals look amazing. The gameplay feels really good. The all-around effects, the sound of the game, the particles, the sound of explosives, the way you hear jets just whoosh over your head, helicopters you can hear in a distance, gunfire sounds really, really close, and then sometimes it feels super far away because the battle is happening so far away from you. It's just so nice. You can hear, like, the tanks when they're coming in, you hear the tracks just, kind of crumbling against the gravel as it's driving, and it's an immediate, like, oh fuck, I gotta get the fuck out of here. It just feels really good. It sounds really good. All around, game looks, feels, sounds amazing in my opinion. It really does. I would say the one gripe that I have when it comes to the visuals of the game, it's so realistic to a fault sometimes. For example, I was in a building the other night. I was at the second floor of like a house or something, and I was looking out the window, and from an angle out the window, the glare from the sun it's just all white. Like, you cannot see out that window unless you're like kind of pushed into a certain point. And when I first started playing, I was like, oh my God, dude, they need to fix these visuals. And I do think they need to tone down the sunlight a little bit. The glare is a little bit crazy. I'm playing on PS5, so I can't really adjust all of that stuff like you might be able to on a PC. I'm not sure if you can on the PC version. I'm sure you can, but I noticed these things and I was like, God, they need to tone this down. They really need to tone this down. But then I started realizing when you play games like Call of Duty has a problem with angles. There's always an angle that you can see things from, a stupid little spot, like a head glitch or something like that. This glare kind of prevents those people from sitting like that. Like, I couldn't sit in that building and camp that spot because that glare was so hard to even visually see anything. And then from the other perspective, the guy on the ground that's running at my house, he sees me having to angle myself in a way to actually finally see. And by the time I'm able to come up on that window, they're already killing me pretty much. So in a way, I hope they tone down the sunlight a little bit, but at the same time, I hope it's not too much, because I don't want people sitting on angles like I tried to do. I don't want that type of game like Call of Duty has nowadays. There's a reason I stopped messing with Call of Duty, and it's because of things like that. Not just because of that kind of thing, but because it's just too easy. It's too simple to sit at an angle and stare at something. And it's nice that there's preventatives to that. Now, making the sun a little brighter, is that smart? I don't know necessarily, but I know with the maps being so just like realistic and kind of cluttered at times, they can't always make everything like perfect, like 1-to-1, like a Gears of War map or something where it's like exactly the same on both sides. Sometimes things are going to be a little exploity, I would say, and having that sunlight like that kind of helps out a little bit. On top of that, there's also like some smoke sometimes like the smoke from like just like explosions and stuff just kind of lingers for a while. It's realistic, I get it, but when you're in the heat of the moment, it does get kind of frustrating trying to just bob and weave through smoke and shoot people through smoke and stuff like that. It could just be a skill issue. It's just, at times, it's a little bit dense, but I'm honestly okay with it. It's not the biggest deal in the world. The next thing I want to talk about, the gunplay. Like I said, the gunplay is very chunky. It's very realistic at times where you have to burst fire your weapons. You can't just hold down the trigger and just, you cannot just laser beam in this game. I mean, with certain weapons, like if you're using an SMG up close, you're not going to get as much recoil because it's meant to be used that way. With assault rifles, I think this game's going to, and this isn't a part of the dislikes, I like this. This game is going to have a massive learning curve, and it does have a massive learning curve. And that's also because of the other thing that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. But with the recoil and the bloom that the game offers, there's just, it is really hard to get a grip on like long range warfare. And that's how it should be. It should be like that. In Call of Duty, that's a really big issue. And I'm not trying to compare the two games. They're not the same game. They're not graded equally, but they do take from each other. And one of the problems with Call of Duty nowadays is every gun is the same attachments. It's the same exact beam rifle every time you use one. And I'm sure a lot of you notice this, like people are just ripping people across the map with every weapon in Call of Duty, SMG, AR, LMG. It does not matter what you're using. It is just a straight line shot. This game has no hit scan. There's no hit scan. So your bullets do have to travel. So you have to lead your shots a lot. It's very realistic. Sometimes it feels like your bullets are going through people. That's a registration issue at times. There is a registration issue at times. And that is something I will talk about in a little bit when I talk about the dislikes of this game. Right now though, gunplay feels realistic. It feels realistic. And if you slow down a little bit, you'll notice just how much better you'll play the game. It does not necessarily reward people for being like crazy ADHD about running around. You can be victorious. You can have good games. I'm sure there's some freaks out there that are going to do some crazy 360s and like just running around corners and like just instantly jumping around corners. This game doesn't necessarily reward majority of that. Like majority of the time, you're not going to run into people that are able to do the crazy shit you would do in a Call of Duty. It's just not possible in this game. When you try to jump and shoot, your gun goes everywhere. When you try to run and then aim down sights, your gun's accuracy is lower. There's a lot more stats going on in the background in this game that you have to notice just from playing. And I kind of like that. I really do. There are some things they could tweak when it comes to the gameplay a little bit, or the gunplay a little bit. Some of the registration is a little bit off. That was one of the things I was going to talk about with the in-between, or with the dislikes, but I thought I'd just talk about it now. I'm realizing that a lot of people are having problems with bloom and hit registration. I am too. There are moments where my bullets go right through people. I have to say, I think they need some time to to smooth this out. It's not an excuse. I do think they need a couple more days, maybe a week or two to actually smooth out the servers and kind of just figure out why this registration issue is a thing. I think I know why it's an issue, but I'm going to talk about that later on. I don't want to necessarily go into it and, you know, ruin the flow of the video at all. So as of right now, I do think there is a registration issue. Do I think that'll be fixed in the next couple weeks? Absolutely, I do. The new mechanics. There is a new mechanic in the game. It's a drag to revive. So when like your teammate goes down, if you're a medic, you can defib, obviously, but you can also run up, hold square, and you can grab somebody and you can drag them to cover. I'm sure you've seen this in a lot of videos. This mechanic needs to be in every Battlefield going forward. Like, this is an amazing mechanic, and it's smooth as hell in this game too. I was very surprised at how smoothly this entire drag mechanic is. I thought there would be a lot of glitches with it, a lot of just like clipping and everything. It's nice. It's really, really nice. You can drag people downstairs, you can drag people upstairs, you can drag them around corners. Pretty much wherever your camera's facing, you can drag that way, and it feels super good. So you'll be dragging and reviving somebody while they're laying there just like being dragged, and they can spot people while they're being dragged. And it is such a cool mechanic. It is like, I can't believe they never like had this mechanic before. I know in Battlefield 5 they talked about like having it in the game. I think it was in the trailers, but it never actually happened in game when it came out, and it's just really nice to see it in this game. It feels good. It's smooth as hell. I think every Battlefield should have this, like I said before. So that is one of the new mechanics that I just think is spot on perfect. It feels great. It works. And it makes, when you're making a clip or something, like let's say you're just gunned down a couple people, your friend just went down, gunned down the guys that got him, and then you run over, you snag him, pull him around the corner. He's up now. All of a sudden, you're fucking both back in the fight. It feels super good. It's just smooth as hell. And I hope they continue with it. I hope they continue just upping it every Battlefield that comes out. So another thing I really like about this game are the classes and the gadgets. So in every Battlefield, if you haven't played one, every Battlefield has classes that you can pick from. About 4 classes per game, I would say. There's the assault class, which is the more assault, gets up in the face, you know, kind of does a lot of destruction up close. You got your engineer class, which comes to like an RPG, so you can destroy vehicles. Your tank buster type of class. You got your support class, which is going to be the class that runs around, throws down ammo bags, medical bags to heal people, can also revive people. Then you got your recon class, which is your sniper. They can get intel for you, throw sensor balls, they can throw down like a little sensor to spot everybody around you, call in a UAV, etc., etc. It's pretty simple stuff. This game does really well though with what each class does and how effective each class is. For example, like I said, when you're a support class, you get your medical bag, or you get your ammo bag, for example. You can, if you want to, you can come into the battle with a portable cover. So you can throw down portable cover for people. Or if you don't feel like doing that, you can replace it with a grenade launcher that shoots smoke grenades. And that smoke covers the whole area. You can capture a point, you can revive your teammates, you can do whatever you want pretty much. You know, every class has gadgets that really work. And so far I'm only level 40, but I've unlocked quite a bit of the gadgets for each class now, mostly for the support, engineer, and the assault class. I haven't really done recon as much, but I have unlocked quite a few things. Those classes though, you know, every time I unlock something, for example, with the assault class you can carry 2 primary weapons. Most of the time it's an assault rifle and a shotgun. If you want to, you can get rid of that shotgun and have extra ammo for your assault rifle. Or you can also, with the assault class, for example, you can have a ladder. It's an assault ladder. So you can run around, and I love using this thing. You can put the assault ladder down on any wall. You can even put it down as like just a bridge. You can put it anywhere, and people can climb up it. They can actually like use it for a vantage point. You can use it as a bridge to get across somewhere that's been blown up. It's really cool, and the mechanics are really nice with these things. These gadgets all help out, it feels like, effectively. I haven't used every single one of them, but the ones that I've unlocked in the first like 20, 30 levels, I'm really enjoying using them. I like them a lot. So when it comes to the gadgets and the all-around class balance, I really enjoy them all. I have a really good time. Though the shotguns are a little bit too strong in my opinion, it's still cool that the assault class gets to have 2 weapons at once. It's really nice, actually. The last major positive I wanted to talk about was that the game just feels up to date. It feels modern. It feels like it actually, like they just did everything that you could do in an FPS game at launch to make you feel like, wow, this is fresh. They got everything from everything we like, and they brought it into this game, and they added some stuff. And I just really wanted to throw that out there, and just, whether the Battlefield people listen to this video or watch this video, I want them to know, and I want you guys to know, this game feels really good. It's just an all-around positive experience for me. I'm really enjoying it, though I do have a couple negatives that I wanted to talk about here in a minute. Everything that I talked about, as well as just my all-around feeling of the game in my first week of playing it, I love it. I'm having a great time with it. And I just want to say I'm really happy that I'm finally at work dreaming of playing a game when I get off of work. Like, it's been a while since I've just been craving a video game, and this one really, really, really is enticing. Like, it really, every time I load into it, I just feel really, 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 I feel really, really immersed, like, at all times, and it feels really fun, and it's really, really fun to play. Like, I think a lot of people are going to really like this game. I really do. If you haven't already played it, you should try it out. It is just pure fun. It's pure fun, especially when you're playing with friends, but even by yourself, the chaos is everywhere. It's just a really good time. Oh, and I'm sorry, I'm an absolute amateur, but last thing I wanted to say that was really, really cool about this game, besides majority of it, last thing I wanted to talk about that was really, really cool is the crossplay. The crossplay from launch has been perfect. Like, you can invite people from Xbox, from PC, from PS5, all play together. I have been matchmaking, and sometimes it prioritizes your console. I've been in matches where it's all PS5 people, and it's pretty fucking cool. Compared to like Call of Duty, where you'll jump into a game and it feels like people are just like flicking on you like crazy with mouse and keyboard. It's really nice to change the pace up and play with people on your level at times. You know that their FPS isn't higher than yours. You're all on the same ground, same level, and it's really nice. Crossplay works really well. Matchmaking is really good. There are a couple negatives I would say about like the lobby system, but I'll get to that in a few minutes here. All in all though, feels great. The crossplay is really cool, and it's very, very nice to have. And I believe there's cross saves as well, because you do have your Battlefield account that just carries over everywhere. So that's also really cool at launch as well. So now I'm going to dive into the in-betweens. The in-betweens, I only have two things I wanted to talk about when it comes to the in-betweens likes and dislikes. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about is the open weapon system. Open weapon system in Battlefield means every weapon is accessible to every class. So if you're a sniper, you can use an assault rifle. If you're an assault class, you can use a sniper rifle. That's been a thing for, I think, since Battlefield 5, I want to say. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I've never been the biggest fan of being able to use every weapon on every class. I don't mind it. It is what it is. If the game has to be like that, it has to be like that. If I have like just a opinion that I can throw out there and maybe sway the opinion of the Battlefield developers, I would say I want the closed weapon system back. Now, if you've been playing the game at all, you'll notice that in the menu, there is a closed weapon system. It's all the way hidden in the back of the playlists, unfortunately. And I think they do that on purpose personally, but all in all, I'm not going to dive into that too much. I think the closed weapon system is really fun. I think it makes the game feel a lot less just annoying at times. Like, and I'm not saying that the game's annoying at all. It's not really... The game's not annoying necessarily. It's just sometimes the way people play is annoying. The biggest problem with an open weapon system, and you might think, why don't you like being able to use every weapon? I like being able to use every weapon. The problem is when you give a medic class a sniper rifle, that entices people to camp on rooftops and camp on mountains 400 meters away from the fight. And all they have are people that aren't getting revived, people that aren't getting medical bags. They're not able to support the other classes the way you're meant to support the other classes. I understand some people might not like that opinion, but in my opinion, a balanced game is a more fun game. And when you have people, and I've experienced this quite a bit, when you have people that are 400 meters away using the medic class, sniping, all they're doing is putting their own, they'll get shot at a couple times, they'll take a hit, they'll just throw a medical bag down, or them and their buddy are sniping like crazy from an angle. They can't be stopped because they're just reviving each other over and over again. It's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of annoying. And one of the things I have a problem with is that they hide the closed playlist in the back of the fucking game modes. And I know why they do that. It's so they can gaslight us and tell us, well, nobody really wanted this anyway. That's why it was in the back of the playlist selection. Nobody really wants it. No, you don't want people to see it because you don't want anybody to voice their opinion on it, because they want it to be an open weapon system. There's a reason that they made it an open weapon system a couple games ago, and that's what they're doing. They want to keep it an open weapon system, but they also want to appeal to the people like myself and give us a closed weapon playlist just in case, just to entice us. My thing is, more people that play it, the less likely they are to avoid talking about it. So I do think we need to play that playlist a little more to show and to feel how the game is meant to be played, pretty much. But all in all, the game feels fine. It's fine with an open weapon system. I would just prefer it to be a closed weapon system. I don't like the imbalance that comes with a open weapon system. One thing they do though that really does kind of help out everything when it comes to like the weapon system and all that stuff is they really entice people in the open weapon system to actually play with the weapons that are meant to be played with the class to match up with it. So like, for example, using a sniper rifle in this game, you are 100% guaranteed to hit your shots if they're on with your sniper rifle as compared to when you're using an assault class with a sniper. Sometimes your shot will have bloom. It'll be off by a little bit, or you'll feel like it's just you're not as proficient because you're not a sniper technically. Like your class is not a sniper. Or like for example with the LMGs, the LMGs are meant to be used by the support class, the medic class. You can use anything you want, but it's meant to be used with the LMGs. So the bonus you'll get with that is you'll be able to move at normal speed with LMGs while using that class. It's just a little something extra to make you want to use that. So I do like that they did that. At least that gives a little thought to them balancing it out a little bit, I suppose. That's just one of my in-betweens. The second in-between that I have is going to be something I think a lot of you have been talking about. It's been the main focus of this game. It's been the main thing that make people question whether the game's really good or not. It's the registration and the bloom. So the bloom mechanic in this game, it's meant to stop people from just holding down the trigger. It's meant to stop people from being so fast paced. It's meant to be just a little more realistic. Again, just like the visual department where I said, I understand why they balance it the way they did. I still don't think it's necessarily the right amount of balancing. I think they did too much of it, to be honest, and I think they need to tone this down. In the beta, the game felt perfect. It felt like Call of Duty in a way where it just felt like every gun kind of beamed. You could hit from every angle and it felt good. It felt good enough to where I was like, you can kind of keep it this way, and I think people will be really happy. They kind of like patched it though, and they made it where now if you're sprinting and you come out of a sprint and you start immediately firing at somebody, aim down sights, sometimes your shots won't register. And they want you, like I said before, there's a hidden stat system in the background where they want you to get stationary. They want you to pull your gun up and pop, 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 and pop off people. They want you to like burst fire your weapons. And when you do that, it feels good. The game feels good when you're like, you know, single firing people and everything from a range. It feels better. The way the game feels where you have to like pace out your shots and everything, it feels like there's an extra depth to the gameplay. Like it's an extra level to like the skill gap pretty much. So like if you're not good at controlling the different weapons of the game, you're not going to win gunfights. Therefore you're going to lose and your team is going to lose as a part of you losing. So it's one of those things where it does feel like there is a skill gap. It does feel like there is an actual like, okay, learning curve. You got to learn how to play this game. But you'll notice when you try to pull a Call of Duty in this game where you'll like stop immediately and beam, your gun will go everywhere. It feels inconsistent. And I don't think the casual fans will understand why this is a thing. I think they'll get annoyed by it and move on. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to nerf it too much. I think they're going to keep it this way because the more I play, the more I'm realizing the slower I play, the more chaos and the more fun the game is. The less likely, the slower I play, the point is the slower I play, the less likely I am to die, the less likely I am to miss the chaos that's happening on the battlefield. I hope that makes sense. That's just one thing I'm in between on though. I hope they nerf it a little bit to make it where the registration feels a little bit better, because there are times where I could blame server instability where it just feels like my shots are going through people. I'm going to give them some credit. The game is huge right now. There are a lot of people playing. I'm going to wait and see what they do with this before I fully judge it. That's why I left it in the in-between department. So from here, we're going to get into some of my dislikes. I want the record to show right now. I know there's a lot of people on the internet that think people that have an opinion, like a negative opinion on something, means that they hate something completely. Absolutely not. I think this game is phenomenal. I think it's a really great time. And I think these dislikes that I have are just genuine, easy to fix things that are just genuine issues at launch. I personally do. On top of the registration being a little bit of an issue, one of the main dislikes that I have is the lobby structure. The lobby structure in this game, it is very hard to tell if people joined you. It's very hard to tell if we're together still in a match. Sometimes like the party leader will be like, hey, I gotta back out so I can fix my weapons or so I can go to the bathroom or something. That person will back out, but it'll keep everybody in the game, so we'll be separated pretty much. Or like everybody will back out and you have to be like, is everybody backed out before I start it? It's like, in like Call of Duty, for example, you can back out with party. They need to add that. They need to add a more structured system where you can see the lobby, you can see that you're joining together. There just needs to be a little bit better visually, UI wise. It needs to be better. All around, the UI needs to be improved when it comes to the menu and the options and everything. And that leads me to my second dislike. If you played the beta and you got your weapons, you know, your sensitivity down, your dead zones down, throw all that bullshit away, because now you have to redo it. You have to restart, you have to redo all of your settings. That's annoying as hell. It was annoying as fuck. It took me like 3 days to fully get my aim back down to where it was in the beta, and it still feels like it's fucked up because the curves are different now. Everything's just different in a way, and the menu is just so long. It's so cluttered. There's just so much shit to fucking play with, and that's one of the reasons I haven't even fucked with vehicles yet, because the settings for the vehicles, there is just so many, and I appreciate there being depth. I appreciate there being specifics to everything. When you're fine-tuning your sensitivity, it goes by 0.1. Like you can define your sensitivity by 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and that is very nice. It is very nice, but it's cluttered. There is a lot, and it takes forever to fix something and then go back into the firing range, test it. It's like there needs to just be a better all-around structure for how the settings are in the game. It's just cluttered. That's really all it is. But once you get your settings down, it does get a lot easier to go into the menus, and it gets a lot easier to understand what you're messing with. It just takes time. Again, I'm talking from somebody's perspective of somebody that is just trying to hurry up and get into a game and enjoy the game and feel the game and just have fun. So I think in that department, they need to kind of play with the menus a little bit, make them a little easier for people to get into. On top of UI, there's a lot of little glitches right now when it comes to like respawning in. Sometimes like the map will come up to respawn and you'll look for your person that you want to select and spawn on, and the screen will just drift to the left so you can't see where you're spawning. It just kind of gets annoying sometimes. These are little things that will be fixed in the long run. Like for example, if there's two teammates next to each other and you're trying to select one to spawn on, it'll just sit there and go between both of them over and over again, and then it'll just spawn you at the headquarters instead because it can't pick. And that's annoying sometimes, especially in like big combat situations where you need to spawn on your teammates. Sometimes that can get on my nerves. I'm not going to lie, but that's one of those things that it's going to get fixed. There's no way that doesn't get fixed. So that's just one of the little things. The last thing I want to talk about that I don't like about the game, and this might just be because we're in season 0, there's just not a lot of stuff to really try to go for cosmetically. A lot of basic shit, to be honest with you, and that kind of scares me for the future of this game. I'm fearing that this Phantom Edition shit, this Battle Pass shit, I'm fearing that they're going to put all the cooler stuff in the Battle Pass, and of course that's what they're going to do, but I'm afraid that a store is going to be introduced, and that store might have just a bunch of shit to pay for, and then all the stuff that you earn in game is going to be shit, because all the stuff in game right now, the assignments that you have to do to unlock these things are hard as fuck. Like there's a challenge it wants you to do right now to get 10 executions in a single round, and it's like, you want me to run around with my knife out and just jump on somebody from behind, and it's already kind of hard to get that jump on people because there's so many fucking people. It's just these challenges, they've already said they're going to readjust the challenges and everything, but the rewards don't really look like they're worth the squeeze, in my opinion. So I hope that in the future they have more stuff to unlock for free, because we did pay $70 for this game. But I'm going to be honest, I think they're going to follow suit with Call of Duty and put a lot of cosmetics in the store and in the Battle Pass instead. And that's a dislike, in my opinion. I think obviously we haven't seen that happen yet, but just from seeing what we have now, the challenges and the things that you get from the challenges aren't really worth it outside of getting like new gadgets for your classes. The cosmetics themselves suck ass, in my opinion, though. And the camo system to unlock like camos for your weapons, you have to get like max level with each weapon to get like one specific stupid woodland camo. It's kind of annoying. It's just the structure of the whole like camo system, a cosmetic system. It just kind of stinks right now. And I hope that they, address it at some point. I'm sure they will, because people are going to probably complain about not having a lot of shit to unlock when it comes to cosmetics. So all in all, though, that is, I'm pretty sure, everything. I know this was kind of just a yap session, but I tried to lay it all out for you guys. I might put some timestamps in there as well. All in all, though, my opinion after 1 week of playing this game and after all the clips that I've managed to get, speaking of, go to my TikTok or my YouTube shorts, you'll see a bunch of fun clips with me and my friends. All in all, though, everybody I'm playing with is having fun with this game. I have not had this much fun with a multiplayer game since Battlefield 3, or Battlefield 1 technically, but like, this feels like a continuation of Battlefield 3. It does. It feels like I picked Battlefield 3 right back up with my buddies, same buddies and everything. My same buddy jump back, same buddy. We're still doing the same shit, and it feels like we didn't stop. Like, it feels great. This game, in my opinion, so far, I've only played the multiplayer, have not played the campaign. This is a 9 out of 10. This game is near perfection. It is near perfection. Near perfection. It is really, really, really fun. If you want a game that's destruction, mayhem, chaos, this is your game. This game's awesome. This is the peak Battlefield experience. Like I said, I'm a huge Battlefield 1 fan. It feels like the best part of Battlefield 1 with the chaos, and it feels like the gunplay and the all-around just vibe of Battlefield 3. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully my gameplay was good enough for you. Hopefully my voice sounded just great. Hopefully you subscribe. Hopefully you like the video. I'll see you guys on the battlefield. That was cheesy as fuck. Goodbye.